Welcome to Brawlhalla.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bearded Brawls West Coast Brawl. I say welcome back, but I should be saying welcome. We're here with Top 8. My name is PJ the Puff. I'm joined by my good friend Dad Sitter. Dad Sitter, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. It's a beautiful Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait for some Brawlhalla. I can't wait for some. I was just looking at the bracket. It looks like we've got some strong players.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, right? Because West Coast, I think, is one of the regions that is somewhat underrepresented in Brawlhalla. We see a lot of the talent coming in from the East Coast, including Canada. And then, of course, we have the other international regions like South America, Europe, and Southeast Asia. But West Coast, I feel like we don't talk about a lot. So it's going to be great to highlight this here. Once again, we are a Brawlhalla-sponsored community event. Big shout outs to BMG and Brawlhalla for providing the prize pool and all the money to make sure this show happens. Shout out to Slow Motion and all the wonderful people behind the scenes making this happen. This is our second time commentating together. I'm really excited. I'm excited. Top 8s are always going to be great. We get the top tippy top level play. Who do we got first up on stream? Hey, or Dad Sitter?
Who do we have first up on stream is a great question.
Yeah. We have
Wubs
and sleeping on stream. A little quirk in the graphic. Double E letters get extended, so it's sleeping, which is technically how you spell or pronounce sleeping anyway. So it works out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's confused over sleeping. Also, in the stream title, I believe, sleeping, a player that I'm not in touch with the players, so. Yeah. Don't take this the wrong way, sleeping, but I don't know who sleeping is, and I'm excited to see that sleeping has some actually really strong wins, and I'm gonna get to see a new person play Brawlhalla well tonight, and I like that.
Yeah, so a little bit of context. Wubs is a number 26 PR North America, a Cassidy main through and through, versus Sleeping, who is number 264 PR in North America. Did place in that top 64 at Trial of Boulder, ran by Moose Wars. 49th place. DreamHack San Diego almost getting 64th, getting 65th. And then Wubs 17th at Trial of Scotty, 25th at Boulder, 25th at Frigg, 33 at Ymir. So Wubs is coming in with a lot of experience, a lot of practice. I think that's probably the most important thing right now as we get into the end of the winter circuit, into the summer of Brawlhalla. We're going to be getting a lot of really great players, and I think events like this are a great way to hone your mettle versus some of the best. And I think right now, Sleeping, not seeded anywhere to make top 8, making it here from the winner side is definitely going to, I think, cause some problems for Wubs. I never want to count any underdog out because we are playing Brawlhalla. I feel like this is such a game of underdogs. I'm very excited for this match.
This is an apocalypse right here. What do you think?
Man, it usually does feel like it.
It could be Demon Island. It could be anywhere. Oh.
Nope.
Oh. Not either of those. Wait, what happened?
I think they banned out of order, so they ended up banning more correctly, and now going to be going to Western Air Temple. So the higher soft platforms that vary in height are definitely going to help out, I think, Teros on the axe as well as Cassidy on the hammer. So it should be a pretty even stage, I think, for both Teros and Cassidy. As we kick off Bearded Brawl, West Coast Brawl top 8, we are here with Wubs versus Sleeping. Let's get into this one.
Teros with the first weapon. No weapon guard. Okay, we've got an even game. We're taking our time. We're playing footsies.
Yeah,
as you'd expect with these two weapons, these two characters, we're really just finding a footing is important. Feeling out your opponent.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, fitting. You're seeing Cassidy on the hammer. Most people are playing Cassidy for the hammer, and I think Teros is a good combination of two. And right now, you see the chase dodge up, goes for the nair, doesn't find it. Actually,
able to get early knock.
Yeah, getting the side air to punish. Right now, it's pretty in damage. I know it's not technically even, but I feel like Teros just needs 1 or 2 hits. And you're back.
Yeah, this is looking rough for Cassidy a little bit. If we got the early KO, it would look different. So it's going to come down to small interactions like that. Can we find? But we need to find to take Teros' stocks. If not, we're going to be eating damage here on the Cassidy. And just
right
getting
now,
a foothold on the stage. We're hammer in hand again. That's important to the game plan.
Yeah. Hold on to that. Nice weapon toss there.
Oh, I like that movement.
As Teros, you're just trying to wait. Eventually something is going to KO. So, like you said, utilizing that movement, not going for anything too risky, because as soon as you do, Cassidy on the hammer is going to reverse you. That dare is a lot of damage, and now it's pretty even. One downlight separates, but a side sig from out of nowhere gets punished with that downlight. I can't believe we saw that from Wubs. Right now, Sleeping, big underdog, has the lead over Wubs right now.
Sleeping playing super consistent right now. Finding all of these small punishes, taking the 1-2s. See if we can find any extra credit on the Teros.
You see that weapon toss up there, knowing that the weapon's going to spawn on the soft plat, and as you were saying, extra credit on Teros. Just 1 or 2 hits is all you really need. You only have to win so many interactions.
That's a stock. Okay, pretty much an even game. I know we have the axe prepped for the Teros, and now we have an extra hammer on the Cassidy. Oh no, hammer! I could have swore I saw them throw out the hammer. I guess I'm not paying attention. But we know that Cassie has another hammer. And the movement, they're together. They're walking.
Holding hands. They're not trying to get any no violence right now, I guess, because I feel like once these players just get that one big hit, it does so much damage. Just that extension there gets punished accordingly with that side air. And I mean, right now you are going on the offensive as Sleeping, which is kind of out of pocket. I feel like we weren't really seeing this from Sleeping in the first stock, and Wups kind of getting outpaced right now. The damage is slowly building, and like I keep saying, and we'll keep saying till the end of time, Teros only needs one more hit. That dare is going to KO on Western Air Temple, and all of a sudden the underdog is up again in a bigger way than they were in the last stock.
This is looking decisive. I think perhaps in game 2, well, okay, let's not talk about that yet. Very much still a match here.
Yeah.
But man, Teros is really just effectively holding space right now.
Yeah, you can't really find anything, even in the hammer mirror. That's where you're gonna have to make your money as Wups, because you're playing Cassidy for the hammer. It's just not working. That's a nice end stick there, but I mean, many of those are gonna be needed in order to take this game. Another side stick whiff from Wups, kind of pulling the trigger a little bit too happy on that. Of course, no pun intended with Cassidy, but I mean, right now you're just holding to the stage, hoping to find it there. Yeah, nice dodge. That end stick, dude, it's just such a consistent way to get those anti-airs for Cassidy. That's kind of a zone where Hammer will struggle to hit, especially grounded, and that's just perfect. Okay, Wups. I mean, highest seeded so far. I think that's still left in the bracket for this tournament. You know, no matter how much of a deficit you have, you can never count out that Cassidy hammer. Nice walk up there, gets the downlight stacked, and is able to get a conversion
past the neutral sig.
Very important to stack there. Okay. I mean, it's so movement heavy because it's the hammer move. Yeah, it's very much so.
A lot of space.
Nice catch.
Maybe as Cassidy here next time you're looking for a smaller stage. Every one of these little interactions could be a game. It could be the turning point.
Ooh. That instinct barely whiffing there. The side light comes in and knocks Cassidy back off stage. It's so close right now. They're just dashed up against center trying to find something, but there it is. That's the downlight anti-air. Using the soft platform to occupy such a big space in the center of the stage is going to lock down that stock for Sleeping, who, like I keep saying, is not projected to be here. Definitely the big upset factor of the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Sleeping seed number 85, guaranteed 5th place, and right now 1-0 over Wups, who, if I am not mistaken, is the 1 seed of the tournament. This is a upset factor of 5. Like, this is a 5. That means that there's 5 stages of seeding before they were supposed to meet, and we're right back on Western Air Temple. I don't feel good about this one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think perhaps Wups knows what they're capable of and just has to find their, lock in, find their footing. I think that's important. And so far, I'm not unconvinced. Maybe there was some sort of mental change. I mean, that was convincing. The blaster's gone, not needed.
Yeah,
they're foregoing the weapon, taking damage for it. But now we're on the hammer ditto. This is where Teros was finding success last time in the side sig. We never saw that before.
Okay, goes for the dare there, unarmed, gets reversal, the classic hammer. Goes for another dare. You got just get back on stage. Just get back on stage, please. Okay, 2 exclamation points. Like you gotta let it go. That wasn't your stock to take. You have weapons online. Teros does so much damage. You don't need to take those risks to even it up. It's classic overextension there. Doesn't get punished with a KO, but man, this is rough. Just trying to
for it again.
Wups isn't giving it to him.
It's a lot of down sig usage here. Wow, and this game looking like last game, but reversed.
Ooh, taps it in, gets the gravity cancel downlight into the ground pound, unarmed. Yeah, it's not too bad. All of a sudden.
A full stock of extra credit. That helps.
Yeah, but like,
Blasters have got to go.
It's yeah, not today, you know. Maybe a different meta we'll be seeing some Cassidy Blasters, but not today. Ooh. And not versus the Teros. That side sig almost KO'd. That insane force gets the end sig and it hits the spike hitbox. I was saying it's not so bad for the Teros because being one stock down means nothing when 3 hits is all it takes. You blink and you miss it, and now somehow Sleeping has a lead. Oh my goodness.
I'm expecting to see more Teros neutral acts. I'm surprised that it hasn't been used yet. Maybe it's game 4, game 5 situation for that. Or is it best of 3?
No, this is best of 5.
Okay, yeah, game 4, game 5. Pull out the Teros neutral axe if we need it.
You saw that there. That was smart baiting out the dodge. Didn't find the punish on it. That was a downlight, not a sidelight angle. But as of right now, it's looking pretty solid for Sleeping, who controls the space. The thing is, when you have all that rounded space to work with as Teros, even if you're getting reversal, you're still usually in a better spot. Right here, the box dodge comes out, goes to line up a downer, doesn't find it, switches back to the hammer, avoids that end sig. The exclamation points are coming online. All you need to do is tap it in. Wubs with sweat beads. Can they make it back to the stage? They can. The downlight doesn't connect. That was so big. We're back on.
That could have absolutely been a KO.
Dude, I don't know about throwing the blasters when you have no weapon. I guess all you need is the hammer for Wubs. And what a punish! Oh, he misses the gravity cancel downlight. It all went awry, and that is another game for Sleeping. 85 seed in the tournament, taking it 2-0 right now versus the #1 seed. I cannot believe it.
And we're going right back too. Maybe not.
Man. I don't know. I don't know
if it's broken. Yeah, we're going right back.
0 damage on the blasters. 39 unarmed.
0 moves used with the blasters.
Yeah, true. Like
the blasters
I don't know.
did more damage being thrown.
3,
It's
2,
crazy. Like
1,
just fully committing to the hammer playstyle on Cassidy, which is such an interesting choice versus Teros. And right now, Sleeping, looking to continue the Dream Run. We've been seeing Dream Runs all weekend long at all the Tier 1 events. And we might be seeing one right now. Seed 85 of the tournament, but Whoops ain't going down with a fight. Look at how much damage that was.
Very little. For what you'd like to see. Same string with Teros.
You're gone. That's your
noticeably different color, yeah.
Yeah. It's very interestingly spec stats for a Hammer Legend, especially Wubs, who's only playing Hammer on Cassidy right now. I mean, it's just, it literally leads don't mean anything versus Teros. Like, you can only convince me you have a lead when you win the game. It's at moments like this.
I'm loving the movement, though. I think that this is where Wubs is finding their flow. Ooh! Blasters moves! Blasters usage up! What is that, 16 damage?
Yeah, that's 16 more than the entire set beforehand, so that's some big stuff for
That's
Wubs.
the difference.
I mean, it might be. I feel like you got to use the blasters more. Like, I know you want the downlight on the hammer. I know you want the high dex hammer, but like blasters ain't bad versus Teros. I don't feel like.
Ooh, that find was excellent. Well, on the movement. I mean, I think that's what Wubs' hammer game plan has been almost the entire set so far. Call out the movement and keep the pressure high.
Oh, jeez, man.
What a find on the fastball. Okay, dodge in place.
Picks up the axe, should be able to tap this one in. Goes for the dash jump downer, and I hate when people do that because Wubs now in a bad spot, but able to touch the wall, and sweat beads will start coming out for Wubs, who doesn't actually find those because you're able to just get that chase dodge. And I mean, that's a big drop for Sleeping. I feel like that could have been, you know, the evening factor, but it might be another 3-stock lead angle for Wubs here if you can find this one. Because right now, Sleeping can't get a hit. That sider whiffs, gets hit with a downlight into the side air, and oof, it's just fighting with the unarmed.
We're still just fighting. Oh, come on. Let's hope that was a misinput. The disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Wubs getting a KO with the blasters. That's exciting.
That's one for the stat lines.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, avoids that one. The down edge doesn't scoop. The triple exclamation points come up, but Wubs able to make it back. There's no punish right now for Sleeping, who, I mean, this is looking real bad. I don't know if you can get back into this one. And okay,
patience from Teros.
That's crazy.
I would have swung at every single one of those jumps.
Yeah. Okay. Downlight into
Ooh,
the,
call out on the
light,
dodge. Looking like 2018 with the blaster strings.
Woo! You might have been able to find that end sig there. That's super solid as a good anti-air option.
With the hammer. That's correct.
Nice damage there into the ground pound. And like I said, it doesn't really mean anything if you can't put away the Taros, because right now Wub's slowly building a case. You just need this one more hit.
This is a definite Sarah angle for sure.
Okay, the weapon gets knocked off there. Tries to scoop with the downer. That might have been able to KO. I'm not too sure.
Looking close to the unarmed recovery situation here. We go for the Nair?
Yeah, downlight recovery definitely KOs there. But hey, wanted another blaster stat. That's a side air for you, hey. Wups is like, you know what, casters, I'll get some blaster damage just for you. That's gonna be a
2 blasters KOs on the first win of the set. I mean, I would say the blasters made the difference. What do you think?
I mean, it was 126 damage you weren't getting if you weren't using them. You know what I mean? Like, those were definitely big there. I just noticed Wups is actually specking into the deck stats. So right now, Wups fully believing in the Cassidy hammer decks, but
that has something to do with the downlight neutral sig. I don't know if it's either impossible with 8 decks or if it is less tight. You know, you could be more or less stacked depending on if you're 8 or 9 decks there. But I do believe that there's something with the downlight neutral sig.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that? Yeah,
I mean, that's just the classic like Cassidy thing, right? I don't know if the one decks makes a difference. I know that for some things it definitely does end up being important. Like I know for Vrax, that downlight into neutral light on Lance is very important to have that extra dex to work with. But I'm not too sure if that's the same with that downlight into
Western Airpen full out. We've had enough.
I'm happy about that. Small Fortress of Lions, I think, is definitely going to be a better pick. Yeah, much better pick, I think. I feel like the soft platform stages are pretty interesting right now. Obviously, there's 2 triplats or 3 soft platforms, but people don't seem to like it. They like the moving soft platforms, which I think creates some pretty interesting chances. Because a lot of times, like, it's interesting about Brawlhalla is like sometimes the soft platform helps the aggressor so much more than the person getting out of disadvantage. But so that, you know, because it's moving back and forth, you're able to actually like play differently. Whereas like with static soft platforms, it kind of makes it more linear. Nonetheless, we're here on Lions and going to be seeing a attempt here to tap in this
opening for Wups.
Yeah, a lot of damage.
You see Cassidy on the hammer, Taros on the axe. This is what we are accustomed to with this matchup.
The movement
so
is crazy right now.
Yes.
Moving so well, using that soft platform. It ended up on the right side of the stage, and you're seeing that come out accordingly for Sleeping, who's just dancing around with it right now.
Yeah, I do think this stage is forcing a little bit more interaction than Western Air Temple, and I am not sure who is the beneficiary of that yet.
The Hammer Mirror, once again, Wups. I mean, having that high dex can afford to throw out moves a little bit more frequently, but right now, I think kind of worried about that. Nice dash in downlight into the Sair. That should be an easy way to set up potentially an edge guard sequence. That's the exclamation points. Burns the dodge too. This should be an easy tap and no, doesn't find.
It's all about the patience for the Cassidy. I think that's definitely the right choice. We saw it a lot last game too. It's very important to just give the Taros the funny Taros space and say that is a mistake and I'm punishing it, and say everything else I'm not sure, so I'm going to play far away. I think getting better at finding these 1-2-3s is what the Cassidy adapted to last game. I think it's just about finding yourself baited by the Taros' movement less times. And
that's a stop. Ground pound? Oh no, just weapon toss. Yeah, and get the unarmed down air. That's a clean KO. Yeah.
Several bonus hits at the end of that.
Okay, the end light is raw neutral. Chase dodge is up there. You see the Cassidy, I mean, slowly kicking into gear right now. I feel like Sleeping kind of burning and gassing out, jumps right into the weapon toss. It should be an easy tap in. It should be simple.
Okay. That was a decisive game.
Yeah.
What do you think? I would say that a lot of the movement hijinks from the previous games weren't as powerful and weren't as enabled by this stage. I think that maybe it was a mistake of the counter pick. I'd like to see the Teros pick to a bigger stage again with more movement opportunity. Blasters back to 0 damage. Blasters weren't the difference. Oh, we see a character swap.
Yeah, we're going to be switching over to the Ragnar for sleeping, which, you know, Qatar's in a great spot right now. Axe seemed to be what the moneymaker was for sleeping, at least a lot more comfortability. I think the Hammer had its peaks, but a lot of really low lows, couldn't get any hits in the Hammer mirror. So Ragnar, high defense, you know, basic stats across the board. Should be, you know, a simple way to kind of create some control and maybe some chances on the Qatars. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think Teros maybe a little too spec'd into the damage. Perhaps finding the move and speed helpful in a matchup where last game it really felt like the Teros was getting run down pretty hard, outpaced.
And right now, I mean, pretty solid start for sleeping, who gets some big damage on the Axe. Yeah,
Boxing gloves out into the corner, taking center stage strong. Nice.
That's a Cassidy combo with 9 decks, I think. Side light, end light on Hammer. I think that's just true on Cassidy. So it definitely does have its benefits besides that downlight Nair, or neutral strike, I should say.
Yeah, I think it makes everything a little bit less tight as well for different like stacking hitboxes situations.
Yep.
Cassidy just finding strong pushes into center stage and saying, I'm taking that space, it's mine. And we're really just not seeing any evasive movement or any stumping power from the Ragnar here. I would say that this is looking like you've got to find out how to stop them from running at you. So just run up side light in the cast.
I feel like Wups is just like, I think he's over it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you had your time in the limelight. Now it's my time. I'm gonna just win this game. It's over for you. You had no more chances. Like right now, Wups is playing so lights out. He's literally just running at sleeping, and sleeping cannot do anything. I think that's just kind of showing the confidence in this matchup. Every single time Wups has you in the corner, you're getting on the double, triple exclamation points. Nice gravity cancel end sig there to get some space back. But I mean, Wups is just so confident. Look at the posturing too, just like always in his face. Like, I want to fight because I want to win faster, and it's working.
Yeah, this is looking like one player has been in game 5 more than the other. Hey, it's not over.
Definitely not.
And I'm really rooting for the underdog here. I think Sleeping was showing some really nice stuff early. I maybe just got shaken up game 3. Barely losing game 3 in a lot of small interactions, and then just really never finding the footing again.
We'll start here, that side air into the dodge right back to the stage. This is where you want to be, that power position in the center of the stage on Qatars.
We'd like to see this aggression. I think this is definitely a good change of pace for the Ragnar here.
Yeah.
And you hide in the corner and you get walked at again. Finding a really difficult time avoiding some of these approaches. That is high dex right there.
Yeah.
That neutral light, the Hammer neutral light whiffed, and then the side Hammer came out before I even saw anything.
Yeah.
That might be part of the strategy there. Just take your time. I like this. Just reset a little bit.
Yeah, it's your game to give away right now, and I think Wups and Sleeping know that, and Sleeping is going to look to create some chances on the Qatars right now.
Oh, good catch on the landing.
So much control of this match right now from Wups. Nice snare there, gets a recovery. This is a good start for the Qatars. You need that platform very wisely to get something started. Goes for the double D-light. It gets punished accordingly, and right now Wups is one hit away, or a Mind Gimp away, from taking game 5. Wow.
Man, and that's just a great example of how the momentum can shift in a set, and it's just, sometimes just insurmountable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Wubs really came in game 3 and shut down the Teros, and then I mean that's game 4 was like so dominant. You saw like I think what happened, maybe Sleeping getting a little bit too cautious off stage, like really heavily respecting Wubs when they had the wall to them, and it was just like constant like burning every resource to try to make it back carefully, and that just allowed Wubs to rack on so much extra damage. You see there, it wasn't even a big damage game for Wubs. It was just a matter of like you took so much. You just gave away so much. Okay, that makes more sense. 329 damage dealt, just like constantly pressuring, and the Qatar, the Ragniers, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, that last game, I think, was more an example of how it was systematically broken down. I mean, I think you saw a lot of movement from the Cassidy that you didn't see the first game or the second or the third. I think that there was a lot of learning from Wubs, and I think that is really maybe the top player diff, or you know, I think Wubs was PR 23 or something like that. I mean, that's the kind of adaptation you'd expect from a player with wins against oh, I know their wins.
They have
the Dusk. Ah, man.
Java.
Java, yes, a Java win.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, Love is a great player, you can tell, watching that, but you can also tell from the PR position and the previous 1-1 matchups and all sorts of things. Great run from Sleeping.
Yeah, you're not out yet. You're guaranteed 5th place. I mean, I would be happy. I was, you know, seeded 85th. Now I'm guaranteed 5th place, and you know, obviously going to make that elimination side run. PR number 264 in North America. They got $50 of earnings though, so that's, you know, that pays for a couple crossovers here and there. And overall, you know, Wubs looking pretty solid, looking poised to take the tournament. I mean, you know, it might be a little bit too early to say that, especially with who we have next up. We got Seabass coming up and versus Double Dime. Right now, Double Dime is going through some technical difficulties, so you're all going to be with us here. It's going to be the Dad Sitter and PJ show as we wait to see if Double Dime will make the block. A little bit of stats for you because I'm a big stats nerd. Seabass PR number 40 in North America. Double Dime PR number 106 from British Columbia. Canada. Double Dime actually outplacing at trial of Scotty over Seabass, and then I mean, overall, you know, they haven't played each other before, but Seabass PR number 40 has been grinding, playing a lot of those tournaments. We see a Balder and a Scotty placement. Same can be said about Double Dime, who is playing in a lot of these NA tournaments. Played all of the events, so we saw Ymir, Frigg, Frostbite 1, Balder, Scotty. So Double Dime is grinding right now. And looking to make it happen. This is a Canadian matchup too, which is exciting. I feel like we always see like one Canadian, one American. Right now, though, it's going to be a very exciting Canadian matchup.
And what do you think? So the PR difference, you would clearly indicate that that would go to Seabass, but then the earnings is interesting. I mean, and then like highest placements and recent placements, maybe goes to Double Dime. So it's curious that, you know, just PR is never a great sense of power or skill or however you'd like to word it.
Yeah.
You know, and I always find that interesting. I don't even know who the underdog is to root for, per se.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, with PR, it's an amalgamation of a lot of statistics, so it's never like so cut and dry, you know. And I think, you know, Double Dime has been doing pretty well, has been in the money in the past before, 4th at Bearded Brawls Imperium. I see other, you know, top 8 placements here and there. So not somebody that's not a stranger of the higher placements. Double Dime, 28 top 32 placements at official events, and then 1 top 8 appearance as well at official/community events. So, you know, Double Dime's no slouch and not somebody that's going to be easy to beat. Even though, you know, you have the PR lead in this season, doesn't really mean much, I don't think.
If history is any indicator, this might be a Raymond versus a Kaya. What do you think of that?
You know, Kaya's an interesting spot. I think a lot of the spear players that found a lot of success on Kaya have been foregoing playing Kaya for other weapons that are better than Bow is right now. I think Bow, it's great weapon building, damage building weapon, but I don't think it gives you as much as the other spear legends have. You have Hattori, who is very fast with sword. You have Dusk, who is very consistent with orb. You have a lot of really Seven. We even saw finding some success when Stingray was playing Seven. Having that cannon down like Nair to tap in kills, where on the other hand, you're playing on Kaya and it's like, okay, your spear does a lot, your bow does a lot of damage. How are you finding KOs? Kaya has continuously been nerfed in terms of like Sig power. So it's like, what are you really doing? It feels kind of redundant, at least in my opinion, to play that weapon combination in this meta.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think spear's really strong. I'm not sure if the Kaya here, if Double Dime leans bow or lean spear. Do you know anything about that, the history there?
With Double Dime, no, I'm actually not too sure. I know I've heard the tag Double Dime. I was talking to production a little bit before about who Double Dime is and the history. And I mean, Double Dime has been around for a very, very long time. They have been to almost every BCX. If you look at their history of tournaments, they've been playing since 2017. Their first tournament was the BCS Spring Showdown, and ever since then, I mean, they've been consistently playing all throughout 17, 18, 19, 2019, 2020. So, I don't know exactly what weapon they play mostly, but even so, I think it's interesting.
I think this is a bow.
Kaya. You think it's a bow?
Yeah. Well, what do I know? But earlier in the bracket, we saw some aids off.
Oh, okay.
But mostly Kaya, yeah. So if anything, if this tournament, is our exclusive pool of data, I would say that this is a bow player. Which bow maybe not in a great spot compared to its history, but still a solid weapon. There's nothing weak about having some of the longest normals and longest aerial in the game. I mean, I think that if range is an indicator of power, bow should always be decently strong. I think into the axe and gauntlets, I mean, you find the bow playing mostly grounded and winning a lot of the head-to-head grounded exchanges, and it's really the onus of the axe or gauntlets player to use tricky air movement to find an in. I wonder if that's what we're going to see a lot of. That's my prediction going into it, is we're going to see a lot of grounded play from Double Dime and a lot of the movement and a lot of the approach coming from the axe. Because if you give up space against the bow, I mean, you're just looking to find yourself in a corner against some sort of unreactable bow approach. They're really tough.
And as much as we were speculating the bow, unfortunately, Double Dime will be DQing from winner side of the bracket, where they might be able to make a return in the elimination side. But that doesn't stop anything. The show must go on, and we are going right down into the elimination side of the bracket between Hexo and, I just want to make sure I say this right, Hexo and Andraxity. This should be, I think, an interesting match. I say that a lot for sure, but I do think, as we get into this match, Hexo PR number 150 on Jiro. I like to talk about Jiro a lot recently because Jiro is one of those characters that is definitely speculated to be very, very strong in the current meta, but we don't really see many Jiro players. Meg D did show off a couple, but a couple games on the Jiro, but right now, I mean, hovering over the Artemis, I believe, and then that's going to be a Sidra, so maybe some cannon action for you, Dad Sitter.
Love it. Love cannon. Love Sidra. I think that's another great sword legend, I think. Historically, Sidra a strong character. Just a strong kid overall. Anytime cannon's good, Sidra's good.
Yep.
And we were looking at the... What was the other...
Hexo?
Yeah.
The other player, Hexo. 17th at Trial of Scotty. That's actually a really good placement. Trial of Scotty was a really tough tournament for NA. 17th there, 33rd at Frostbite 1v1. Frostbite Crew Battle, Stay Hydrated Gamers, that was a 5th place, and then 65th at Trial of Frig, 65th at Ymir. So Hexo actually has been doing pretty well this season so far, and I think right now, if Okay, I am. Okay, so And is Andraxity, and Andraxity is actually going to be playing some Sentinel today. So some Guitar Hammer and
Sentinel
Hexo
and
on
the
the
Mirage.
Mirage. Okay, so we are completely led astray, but nonetheless, this is going to be very exciting. Mirage is hype, I think. A lot of players are playing Mirage at the beginning of the season. Scythe will never be a bad weapon. You can quote me on that. And Spear is also in a great spot. And then Sentinel, something we don't see a lot. We see mostly the Rock in the Sentinel crossover, but Hammer, Guitars, both strong weapons right now. We'll see how this plays out.
Yes. Okay, first weapon on Androxity, taking some space. Just a couple early footsies, you know, into a string from that Androxity. Looking to pressure off stage with always dangerous against the Scythe, but it looks like we're living and everything's good. Back to footsies on stage.
That up air, or not up air, is it Nair that does that? Yeah, that Nair is actually really interesting because it covers exactly where guitar down air goes, so you have to be very, very careful in terms of like going for those big extended strings off stage. Because if you get turned around off of that Nair, it's just so quickly that it could turn around against your favor. And right now, it's switching over the Sphere. I like the drift from Hexo for sure.
I like the Spear.
Yeah.
What is that, the Field de los Muertos?
I think so.
Yeah, that is drift for sure.
And there it is, the
okay,
on
that
Mirage.
is an early KO. Everybody knows Mirage, neutral Sig, lots of damage. Very, very, very high knockback Sig. The price for it being so slow, I suppose, is that if you hit it, it's a KO.
Yeah, actually, I think pretty strong in terms of like where it is in relation to the rest of the Spear normal kit. I think, you know, having the ability to put out multiple horizontal hitboxes that are quite high in the air is definitely going to be a great sign.
Good find. This should be an easy tap in, and it is. Okay. And suddenly the game pretty even. I mean, we're seeing an obvious damage deficit, but I mean, both of those KOs were very fast. I'd say that this is going to come down to the wire. Unless either player can find a start to run away with it.
Uses the gravity cancel Sig to position off, but you have no dodge now, and because And was kind of holding onto the wall for too long, couldn't risk going off stage to tap in that edge guard. That could have been very, very bad for Hexo, but And not quite ready to.
Yeah, I think playing to the odds there, a white color Mirage, 0 damage taken, it might be a little too high risk, low reward to really fish too hard for a offstage interaction.
Oh,
jumps into it. The call out with the movement, just something you weren't ready for. The slide off, reverse pivot side, save from the Mirage, finding the second KO. Now onto the Hammer. I don't think we've seen the Hammer very much so far this set.
I don't know if it's just like my head canon, but I feel like Hammer is has a pretty tough time into Scythe. I feel like Scythe is able to like weave around the Hammer hitboxes and the very grounded neutral very, very well with those drift and down airs. And right now, And seems to be switching off the Hammer in favor for the Guitars, which, you know, I feel like if you're playing Sentinel, like you're probably playing for Guitars. Guitars is just really solid right now. Nice tap and gravity cancel D-line into the ground pound, didn't find it, misses the down air, goes to the other side of the stage. We're back.
Self-preservation from both players.
Yeah.
Always time to dance.
Always time. You can always find time here at a Brawlhalla. Nice side air, stage spike, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, you get back and, oh, there's the down sig. I was going to just ask, what is that? What's the down six for Mirage? But there it is. It didn't KO, though. Not quite as strong as the Spear ones. They're just going underneath the stage over and over here.
Yeah, this is an offstage game so far. I think we're seeing Hexo come out on top in a lot of these offstage situations, and finding two sort of off the cuff, maybe a little bit surprising KOs with the SIGs at really early damage, definitely going to secure you a quick and easy game one. And I think that we'll have to see, does Androxus start to respond to some of that movement and get used to this off meta Mirage pick. As I say that, we're going into the Mordex on Hexo, so that might be a character we're more versed with the SIGs of. Maybe we won't be found sleeping and getting hit by some of these again.
Yeah, this is a kind of uncommon Mordex skin. I really haven't seen it used much, but Hexo,
that's actually the Hexo.
That's he's known for that. Every time I see that Mordex skin, when somebody counterpicks into Mordex and they like switch to the skin, it's like they're doing like a little prayer. They're like, you know what, I want to be imbued with the Sandstorm energy and get me some clips. And I think that's kind of what Hexo is feeling right now, because And wasn't really showing much, and I feel like Hexo wants to be more in control of the match in terms of like the pace of it with the gauntlets.
Guarding cancel down light into end light, finding early damage. I think we're past the threshold where downlight dare is going to start leading into all of this.
We went for it again.
Oh, we're getting maybe a little silly. That's the Sandstorm energy we're talking about.
Dude, you know what? You've played against my gauntlets quite a bit. That's a very common thing. You get that reversal nair, and you just count your chickens before they hatch. I mean, you just don't touch and grab your resources back. You go for the ground pound trying to tap in the KO. You miss it, you lose your stock for it. But right now, Hexo not skipping a beat, getting that downer on the Qatar recovery, and that should be again. No, the Qatar Sair gave the chase. Hexo is so low. That was crazy. And what are we doing? Why are we giving up the entire stage control? It doesn't matter for a man like Andro though, because right now it's working out. Unfortunately, that does catch. I don't like that ground pound on Qatar. I feel like it's just so risky in a weapon that is pretty consistent at just holding space. Putting that ground pound out, I feel like is just too much of a risk.
Yeah, I would say 2 nairs is worth 1 ground pound in the bush, so to speak.
Yeah, that's for sure. Nice ground pound there to catch the dodge in, and the Sair.
Excellent edge guard. Multiple dodge punishes in one off-stage skirmish. I'd say that the Sandstorm energy might have been channeled.
Yeah, for Hexo,
not to
2
take
gauntlets in
anything
the
away
hand.
from Hexo, playing excellently right now. Punish, maybe if but a little, you know, braggadocious, a little showboaty with some of the offstage lack of resources here.
Yeah.
Wow,
Hexo.
that was a fast game. Hexo crushing right now.
Yeah, being very, very confident on the gauntlets. Man,
we're gonna see the. Who did we talk about? We talked about the Androxus.
Draxity?
No, what is the character?
Sidra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Draxity.
I was
is
thinking the Hexo on the
Jiro.
No, I thought Hexo was. Well, this is a Nyx, but I thought Hexo was the damn
Artemis?
Lance. Yeah, Artemis, thank you.
Yeah, Artemis.
See,
yeah,
the
yeah,
name Androxus just took the place of Artemis in my brain. It was gone.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say Androxus.
His tag is in Andraxity.
What is Androxus then?
Andraxis is a StarCraft thing.
Oh man, I'm all mixed up.
Yeah,
Anyway, so we've got a third game here. Nyx, we're seeing the blasters being played. Love to see that in 2024.
Yeah, I know Sparky definitely does not like it. Sparky wants no one to play blasters, so they buff it. I think blasters, you know, I'm gonna say it, not that terrible.
Ooh, good catch. Low results, low results, but very cool looking.
But off the vibes, I mean, how bad could blasters really be? You're bringing blasters to a sword fight, so to speak, and right now it's bringing out the next one.
You know what they say about bringing blasters to a sword fight? Probably try to avoid getting downlighted.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's what they say.
Could you imagine, like, you're in a
I've never
duel?
seen that skin before. That was really cool. I like the amp.
This was from last battle pass, the vapor ring.
I see. That makes sense why I haven't seen it. Nobody really rubbing Nyx in my ranked games, I've got to say.
Yeah, I feel like Nyx, it's kind of like you got like really committed Nyx players and then like no one else. I feel like Nyx is not like someone you just kind of dabble in. I don't know if that's because of the difficulty of both sides and blasters, or if that's just a product of the meta right now. But right now, Andraxity's really struggling. You haven't seen the skin. Andraxity hasn't seen any damage in like the last 45 seconds. I mean, that cannon downer is going to do something, but not much in terms of making this comeback happen.
Yeah, having a lot of trouble finding that sort of, because with cannon you want to be like maybe 2.5 players away, I'd say, at any good time. And if you can't like outmaneuver your opponent and get that space that you need, you're really going to struggle to have moves start up. I think that when people are in your when people are in your zone with cannon, it's really hard to get them off. You don't have that fast get off me button that a lot of other weapons have.
Yeah, stacking very solid option versus cannon. Funny enough, you need that space to rev up. It's like one of those toy cars. I think that's kind of what cannon brings to the table. That's why I think Lin Fei is so good, because that neutral sig. Well, no Lin Fei here, and Sidra sig definitely not going to help in that attempt. And,
Yeah,
it's funny because
cannonballs.
Yeah, it's funny because like both of these weapons struggle
tragic.
stacking.
To see the side light on the dodge
bye-bye.
whiff, and then not quite. Not 100%.
Oh, nice
Good
cancel
find.
down, yeah.
Yes. See, as soon as we start seeing the Sidra get to play maybe a character distance further away than they were, maybe 2.5 character distance, we're seeing a lot of these approaches working. We're seeing the spacing being more effective. We can react to moves and dash away and then punish. It's much more comfortable for Cannon to be in that sort of range.
He slides off deep with that side air, and it does find the connection, and that is a very active hitbox.
Yeah.
Smart to go
really
for that.
Hoping to touch the corner there.
Yeah. A lot. If you didn't know, SIGs that go up and then down, if you go up and down, but you touch the wall, it won't stop your SIG, but it will give you your resources back, and that's what Andraxity was looking for there.
Yeah, just barely missed the wall with that one, unfortunately.
Damn, Cannon there just not KOing because of that force
will.
lost. Yeah, never. That's not what it's for.
Off stage.
Oh, nice
Off stage, that's Edson.
Ooh, that was clean, the classic. Oh, if he went for
grab.
gravity cancel downlight, it was over. He missed it though. He went for the down air instead. Something a little bit more safe. Okay, so right now scrapping that side air. He's gonna be able to KO. Yeah, center stage. Okay, Cannon's done it before.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're seeing. I think that Nyx is playing a little impatient. If we can find something really nice here from the Sidra, dig deep, look for it, find it, want it. Oh, it's so tough to get back here. Okay, wait, we have jumps.
Oh, jeez.
Don't get clipped. Don't get clipped. Oh. Okay. Well, that was
takes it 3-0.
3-0 for Hexo.
3 different characters, 3-0, switch on win each time. Hexo, you know, definitely a crowd pleaser, playing a wide variety of very stylish weapons in that 3-0 over Andraxity.
I loved some of the things that Andraxity was doing on the Sidra. I'm not sure what was going on with the Sentinel. I don't know if that's an experimental thing. Our graphic showed a Syndra. I think that maybe there's some previous tournament results on Syndra. I'm not sure. I've never seen the player.
Yeah.
But I liked what the Syndra was doing. I'm not sure if it's a Scythe matchup thing. Yeah. I personally struggle Zol versus Scythe. I play almost exclusively Axe. I think it's too... it's really difficult. Like you were saying, I think Scythe can kind of float in really uncomfortable spots against any weapon.
Yeah.
And the difficulty of having slow move startup and kind of moving around with every single move that you use as Cannon can make it really hard to get people away from your floaty danger zones, and then you get hit, and then you take damage, and then eventually you get knocked out.
Yeah, great point. Hexo is going to be moving on in that set, and we got a lot of great matches here right now. We have another elimination side round 1, but if I am not mistaken, we're going to be going to a short break, and then we'll be back with more top 8 action. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.